What is going on? What is popping, YouTube world? My name is Ghiman Mckinney, or you can just call me Juice because that is my nickname. I appreciate you guys for watching this video today. Be sure to smash this like button right about now, as it does help these videos get out to the public and my channel to grow overall. Subscribe to the channel if you're new as well. I do post a ton of great sports videos weekly, not once every single day if I can, and turn on post notifications too so you do not miss a single one of those videos I post. It's only right, you guys. Eagles fans, I am talking to you. Carson Wentz is not that good. I'm sorry. For a while, I was sold on Carson Wentz. Heading into this year, I thought Carson Wentz was one of the top 10 quarterbacks in football. I thought Carson Wentz was going to win MVP. I really thought that Carson Wentz's talent warranted the Eagles maybe potentially winning a Super Bowl this year, and maybe potentially going on a dynasty run down the road. And boy, was I wrong. And before I get into, Carson Wentz and my issues with him and why he's struggling, listen, the Eagles, you guys are lucky because the Dallas Cowboys, they're not that good. Jason Garrett's terrible. I believe the Eagles are still going to win their division. The Cowboys suck. You get the Giants twice. You play the Redskins. You play the Cowboys again. So you get them at home. God forbid, if Carson Wentz loses that game, oh man. Yeah, y'all don't even want to know the type of video I would make going in on Carson Wentz if that happens, okay? You get the Dolphins at home as well. So the Eagles have a soft schedule. I believe they're going to win out. And so that means they're going to win the division, in my opinion, and they're going to make the playoffs. But even if the Eagles do make the playoffs, why should I have faith in Carson Wentz, and why should I have faith in this team? Listen, this team's not a Super Bowl contender. They're not, okay? And until Carson Wentz wins a Super Bowl, because that is the standard, I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it twice and twice and twice. The Eagles should have kept Nick Foles, and they should have traded Carson Wentz, okay? And you might be saying, oh, but how can you do that? Carson Wentz is more talented than Nick Foles. So this team looks better with Nick Foles. That's the harsh reality that Eagles fans need to grasp. This team won a Super Bowl with Nick Foles. This team, ever since 2017 with Carson Wentz, when he was the MVP of the league, arguably, ever since 2017, this team is a below 500 team with Carson Wentz as their quarterback. Carson Wentz, he is a more talented quarterback than Nick Foles, but this team was better than Nick Foles, with Nick Foles, I should say. And you could have had Nick Foles. You could have traded Carson Wentz, and you could have been a much better team, a Super Bowl contender. And I get it. I might be being too critical of Carson Wentz. Nelson Aguilar is dropping passes left and right. They've had a ton of injuries all year, both on offense and defense. Doug Peterson is underwhelming as a head coach. But I don't want to hear the excuses. I really don't. I don't want to hear any more excuses. I'm tired of the excuses. Screw the excuses. If Carson Wentz was that guy, this Eagles team would be a Super Bowl contender, and they would not be 5-6 right now. Okay? Carson Wentz has regressed. And the thing about Carson Wentz is he's not been good for 2 years. Ever since his MVP season, this guy is 10-12 as a starter. Okay? If you take away the 13 games in 2017, that's the thing about quarterbacks. When you are evaluating a quarterback, I'm always going to say this. Consistency matters, okay? If you take away Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson, any elite quarterback in football right now, if you take the way you should judge a quarterback is take away their best season and their worst season and see what they are in between. Okay, if you just take away Carson Wentz's best season, the guy's a below average quarterback. He really is. That's the reality. And I hate saying this because I thought I was going to be a Carson Wentz fan heading into this year. But take away 2017, Carson Wentz is not a 500 quarterback. He's not. Every single year except 2017, Carson Wentz has had a losing season. He is barely a 500 quarterback in his career. And I want to ask Eagles fans a question. Why does Daniel Jones, who doesn't have great wide receivers, who doesn't have a great offensive line, who doesn't have a great head coach with Pat Shermer, why does he have the same amount of touchdown passes as Carson Wentz, and he's played 2 less games? I'll wait. Matthew Stafford has played 3 less games than Carson Wentz. His weapons aren't great. His offensive line's not great. His team's not great. He's playing better than Carson Wentz this year. He's playing 3 less games, and he's outperformed Carson Wentz this year. Kyler Murray. Why does Kyler Murray, a rookie quarterback, why does he have a better QBR, a better completion percentage, a better pass rating than Carson Wentz with the team that Kyler Murray is on? Are the Cardinals a great team? No. When we look at Tom Brady, the 42-year-old Tom Brady with the corpse of Julian Edelman and Whoever else is at wide receiver for him this year, he's throwing to a bunch of randoms. His offensive line sucks. His running game sucks. Tom Brady, the aging Tom Brady, is 10-1 as a starter. What's Carson Wentz's excuse? What's his excuse? Tom Brady would love to have Carson Wentz's offensive line. He loved to have Carson Wentz's weapons. He loved to have Carson Wentz's running game. Russell Wilson. Is Russell Wilson's offensive line great? Are his wide receivers great? No. No, they're not. Are his weapons that much better than Carson Wentz's weapons? He's 9-2. What's his excuse? Aaron Rodgers. He has Devontae Adams, and who else? Jimmy Graham's terrible. Geronimo Allison's not that good. MVS isn't that good. But guess what? Aaron Rodgers, despite the lack of weapons, despite the offensive line not being great, he's 8-3 as a starter. What's Carson Wentz's excuse? I'll wait. I mean, you gotta stop with these excuses. Eagles fans want to make every excuse for Carson Wentz and say, it's the wide receivers. It's the wide receivers. Outside of Patrick Mahomes' weapons, outside Deshaun Watson's weapons, outside of Matt Ryan's weapons, who has elite weapons? Not very many quarterbacks in this league have elite weapons. You can't have it made all the time. Offensive line, okay, outside the Colts, outside the Cowboys, outside the Steelers, outside the Ravens offensive line, what offensive line is elite? If you take away those 4 teams' offensive lines, every other offensive line is just meh. It's the reality today. You're not going to have the best wide receivers. You're not going to have the best offensive line. The running game. People say, oh, Carson Wentz doesn't have a running game. 4.4 yards per carry for both Jordan Howard and both Miles Sanders. I watched them play. They're pretty good. The point I'm trying to make is Carson Wentz, yes, it'd be nice if he maybe had a wide receiver that could catch passes outside Nelson Aguilar. Yes, the offensive line has not been as well as some other offensive lines. Yes, the running game needs to be better. But if Carson Wentz were that guy, the Eagles would not be struggling. Trust me. The thing about the NFL is when it comes to quarterbacks, how good are you when things don't go so well? Everything's not going to be perfect on Sundays. It's just the reality. Deshaun Watson, behind the worst offensive line in football a year ago, completes 68% of his passes, throws for over 4,000 yards, and leads the Texans to the playoffs at 11-5. What is Carson Wentz's excuse for being 5-6? I don't want to hear them. This Eagles team is good enough. They are just removed a couple years ago from winning a Super Bowl. I don't want to hear he doesn't have the talent around him. These days, you're not going to have the best offensive line. You're not going to have the best defense. You're not going to have the best team. You can't expect everything to go perfectly for you week to week in the NFL. That's a blown reality today. So I don't want to hear any more excuses for Carson Wentz. And by the way, Dak Prescott, right now, yes, as much heat as I give Dak Prescott, I got to take Dak Prescott over Carson Wentz. Now, if Carson Wentz goes out and wins this division, I'll flip my mind. But as of right now, I got to take Dak Prescott. You want to know why? Because Dak Prescott, when you look at completion percentage, Dak. Passer rating, Dak. Touchdown to interception ratio for his career, Dak Prescott. Yards this year, Dak Prescott. Winning percentage, Dak Prescott by a mile. Dak Prescott has the second most wins by Tom Brady these last 2 seasons, okay? Leadership, I forgot to mention that. Is Carson Wentz a great leader? I'm not so sure. I've never heard anything about Dak Prescott's leadership. I've never heard anything about Deshaun Watson's leadership, Kyler Murray, Daniel Jones. I've heard creeps and whispers about Carson Wentz's leadership from his teammates in the media. Okay, that's not a great look. Carson Wentz does not have those intangibles. He doesn't have the leadership intangibles, and I get it. Not everyone is a born natural leader, but you gotta be better. You gotta be better. This guy Carson Wentz, he's missing throws. He's not seeing guys open. He's throwing high. He's throwing low. He's underthrowing people. And let's look at the big games that Carson Wentz has been in. Okay, let's just go to last year. Okay, loses to Kirk Cousins at home, not great. Loses to Marcus Mariota. Really? Marcus Mariota, a backup quarterback, caliber quarterback right now? That's terrible. Okay, blows a 17-point lead at home to Cam Newton. Not that great. Swept by Dak Prescott last year. How do you get swept by Dak Prescott, last year? That's not great. The Cowboys were not world beaters last year. Blown out by the Saints. And what happens? Nick Foles, okay, last year, comes in, defeats Deshaun Watson, defeats the Los Angeles Rams in LA on a primetime game. Wins 3 straight games. Brings the Eagles to the playoffs. Beats the Bears in a playoff game. Didn't beat the Saints, but he came within one Alshon Jeffrey catch away from beating the Saints in New Orleans. It's funny because Carson Wentz, excuse me, When we saw Carson Wentz at New Orleans, the guy struggled. The guy looked like a deer in headlights. This team operated better with Nick Foles. Eagles fans, you gotta admit it. Until Carson Wentz brings a Super Bowl to Philadelphia, you never should have traded Nick Foles because it was working. And you know what? Even if I give Carson Wentz a semi-pass for last year because he was coming off a major injury, he was maybe hurt last year. Okay, let's go to this year where he's fully healthy. What happens this year? Okay, you lose to Matt Ryan. Really? You lose to the Falcons? I don't want to hear any excuses. That's a fireable offense right there. Okay, loses to the Detroit Lions at home. Really? You're not good enough to beat the Lions at home? I don't care about the drops. Stop telling me about the drops. I don't want to hear it. Loses to, you get blown out by Kirk Cousins. Really? Kirk Cousins? You can't beat Kirk Cousins. That guy can't win primetime games to save his life. You get blown out by Dak Prescott again. That's just inexcusable. And again, these past 2 weeks, these losses have solely been on Carson Wentz. You want to know why? Because the Eagles defense held Tom Brady to 17 points. They held Russell Wilson to 17 points. Carson Wentz at home. You can't score over 17 points. That's pathetic. That's pitiful. Carson Wentz should be ashamed of himself. And Carson Wentz has regressed. He's not gotten better. And this team is better when Nick Foles was playing. And you might ask why I say that. Because, look, some things in sports you can't explain through analytics. You can't explain through stats. Some things just work. And Carson Wentz, he's not working. Nick Foles, this team, they won a Super Bowl with Nick Foles, okay? Carson Wentz is not getting it done. In 2017, Nick Foles comes in. Once Carson Wentz gets injured, goes 5-1 as a starter. He beats Matt Ryan, an MVP quarterback, in a playoff game, okay? He beats the Minnesota Vikings defense. He beats Tom Brady in the Super Bowl. But nope, the Eagles said, nope, we're going to roll with Carson Wentz because he's talented. Okay, how'd that go for you? Okay, so Carson Wentz 5-6 as a starter last year. Okay, what's his name? Nick Foles. Yes, Nick Foles goes on the road, beats the Rams, beats Deshaun Watson, beats Chicago, almost beat the Saints. Okay, they look better with Nick Foles as a starter. They don't look so good with Carson Wentz as a starter. Okay, and the reason why I believe the Eagles should have traded Carson Wentz was because Carson Wentz, at the time in which it was probably the decision. At the time when Carson Wentz got hurt, the guy was 25 to 26 years old, okay? You mean to tell me a quarterback on the market? Remember, the NFL is not the NBA. Quarterbacks rarely are on the market that are really, really good. There's never a Kevin Durant caliber quarterback on the market. Never a LeBron James caliber quarterback on the market because of franchise tagging. Usually, 9 times out of 10, these quarterbacks are going to stay with the same franchise, okay? A 26-year-old Carson Wentz would have been on the market, okay? Teams would have flocked to that. You could have got a ton of things back for Carson Wentz. You could have got multiple first-round picks. You mean to tell me the New York Football Giants wouldn't have thrown multiple first-round picks at the Eagles to get Carson Wentz? You mean to tell me some of these teams out here, the Titans, would not have loved to have had Carson Wentz? You can go on and on and on. Carson Wentz would have gotten picked up. And then you could have used some of that ammunition to improve maybe the wide receiver core, who Eagles fans are complaining about left and right, saying Nelson Aguilar is dropping passes. This wide receiver core is overrated. Okay, you could have traded for potentially AJ Green at the deadline if you had the assets, but you don't have the assets. Okay, the Eagles, their secondary is not that good. They could have traded for Jalen Ramsey if they had the assets from the Carson Wentz trade, but they didn't do it. So bottom line, until Carson Wentz wins a Super Bowl, the Eagles should have traded him, and they never should have let Nick Foles go. This team looked better with Nick Foles. This team had a swagger with Nick Foles. This team was feared with Nick Foles. Nick Foles is a better leader than Carson Wentz. These wide receivers were not dropping passes when they had Nick Foles at quarterback. This team was not, missing assignments on the offensive line when Nick Foles was at quarterback. There's something about the Eagles missing, and that's Nick Foles. Carson Wentz is not that guy. He's regressed. And outside of 2017, he's been a below-average quarterback. That's just the reality. Carson Wentz, outside of 2017, has been a below-average quarterback. Carson Wentz is regressing. And going forward, I'm sorry, the Eagles, Carson Wentz is talented, but is he going to win you Super Bowls? I'm not so sure. Be sure to comment where you agree with me and disagree with me. Love to hear what you guys have to say in the comment section. Thank you guys so much for tuning into this video today. Be sure to smash this like button right now if you enjoyed this video. Subscribe to my channel if you're new as well. I do post a ton of great sports videos weekly and almost every single day if I can. A fun fact about me is I want to go into the sports broadcasting and media world. I want to become one of the next great sports broadcasters and analysts out in the world. Kind of like Colin Cowherd, Stephen A. Smith, Shannon Sharp. You get the point. Okay, I want to do sports, television, and radio for a full living once I graduate from the University of Toledo, a college in Northern Ohio. I currently am a freshman there right now. So the best thing you guys can do to just help me continue to grow as a young broadcaster is to just share this channel with all your friends, because potentially if this channel really gets somewhere, I want to start my own network, okay? Or potentially if it doesn't, or if I fall a little bit short, I want to go into a big time network like ESPN or Fox Sports 1. So the best thing you guys can do to just flat out just help me grow as a broadcaster, help me learn, get other people hip to this channel, just share this channel with all your friends, share this channel on Facebook, share it on Twitter, share it on Instagram, all that good stuff. Also, be sure to follow me on all my social media platforms. And once again, guys, just share this channel with everyone you know. Get everyone hipped and watching these videos. Get my voice out there and heard. Share it on Facebook, share it on Twitter, share it on Instagram, all that good stuff. It's been your boy Ghiman Mckinney, or you can just call me Juice. I appreciate all you guys for tuning in today. I really do. Have a God bless day. Stay motivated, you guys, and I'm out.